What's up, everybody? It's episode 30 of StickinRink podcast, and I got blisters on my feet, but I've also got boys in my grill. How we doing, fellas? But first, a word from Rafa.
Oh, God. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, guys, just a quick word from our sponsors. Basketball has officially entered the second half of the season. This is the time for teams to prove themselves, to prove if they are contenders or pretenders. And DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, is giving new players a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Get in the action now to claim your free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes when using code THPN during sign-up. Playing daily fantasy basketball is simple. You just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. You'll really feel the sweat like never before. Every dunk, steal, assist means so much more with the DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. With DraftKings, payday comes every day for players, so what are you waiting for? Head to the app now. Download the DraftKings app now and use code THPN during signup. That is THPN. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. That is code THPN, or as we like to call it, THPN, and you can get a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Let's do it, baby. If that doesn't get you fired up, throw it over the fucking intro music on the podcast version. Right at that point right there. That got me fired up. Anyways, guys, StickinRink podcast, episode 30. We are back. The sexiest people on Twitch. By far. Like, we are by far the sexiest people on Twitch. YouTube, I don't really know that world tour. Twitter, we're probably more of the annoying people. And Facebook, thank you to the moms. Listen to us. We appreciate it. I'd like to welcome any influencers to the chat. Any influencers to the podcast version. Welcome. It's an honor to have you, especially this person from Twitch here. We got Cat Minecrafter. I believe she was all up in our grill when we were shirtless last time. Don't worry. Lots of time to still get shirtless. So.
Wait, hang on. Who's we? I think that's just you.
Yeah, don't be giving off any false impressions here. You're the only one shirtless last episode.
I don't know what movie it was. I forget which one it was. One band, one sound. That's what it is. What movie is that from? You guys must know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
That was from like School of Rock or something.
One band, one sound. The essence of teamwork. Where the fuck does this come from, dude?
That's definitely not where you heard it.
No, it's from a movie, dude. It's like a Drumline. Yeah, the movie's called from the 2002 film Drumline. I might have to bring back Spoiled just to get you guys to watch it, dude. Literally a sick movie. Anyways, boys, today, listen, no interview coming up today. It's just the fellas, and there's minimal sports really happening to the Canucks right now. So, I mean, we're going to fly by the seat of our pants today. We're going to crush this episode as much as we can. I wanted to start this discussion out. I wanted to kick the tires and just kind of take control of the ship and just guide it one way. And I'm going to give you guys a thought, and I want to have a long discussion about it because so far everyone's disagreed with me, and I hope you guys agree with me. And everyone in the chat, I hope you agree with me too.
I should probably look at the outline.
All three of us are in the woods. For some reason, we have nothing with us, just hands. We see a grizzly bear, and it wants to fuck us up.
Yeah.
Can we take it? Three of us.
No.
Why not?
One, because we each get one hit by it. That's why.
What do you
You're
mean,
not taking two
dude?
hits from you're not taking two hits from a grizzly bear. You're getting smacked once. You're done. You're on the ground.
Okay, you know what? Let's break this down. Let's be fair. Let's give each person the floor for 30 seconds or so, and just explain to me how you think it goes down, like the process of like this event.
Okay, can I say something before we get into this? Okay,
Sure.
So I'll let Raph go first for his explanation as to why we can't. But I have a follow-up question on this on a similar situation after we're done talking about this.
Like, do you want me to explain like why I think I told you why I think we can't do it. I think if we try all three of us aggressively rushing this grizzly bear, I think we're all going to just get hit once and we're just going to go down. But the way that I see this playing out, like in a real situation, what's going to happen is Elijah's probably going to try charging the grizzly bear, which he's going to get one hit. He's going to get smacked. I'm going to go into the fetal position because I know what I'm doing. And then Josh is either going to follow suit and go into the fetal position or turn around and run.
Yeah, like
that is the breakdown for all three of us.
Okay,
I'm gonna be like what's his name in Without a Paddle, where I get picked up by the grizzly bear and I just get taken away by it. I think that was Seth Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Okay, just to make it a little bit more like interesting, we're doing Hell in a Cell with a grizzly bear. Now,
no chance.
Hell in a Cell with a grizzly. Now, the advantage that we have is like the bear can't climb up like the steel cage, but we can, right?
Okay.
So we can coordinate our attack and like jump on its back and shit. And like one of us can be a distraction while the other two are actually like, you know what I mean?
Sorry, was this a grizzly bear or a black bear?
Grizzly.
This is a grizzly bear. We'll go into the different types of bear afterwards.
Okay, wait. Josh, how much do you think the average grizzly bear weighs? The average male grizzly bear.
It's fucking up there.
I think I'm going for around 500 pounds, 600 pounds.
270 kilos. So that is...
I'm not, yeah.
700 pounds? 700 maybe?
600 pounds. So. The average male grizzly bear is 600 pounds. And you're telling us that the three of us can take it on.
Well,
okay.
No,
I'm like 160. Josh, how much do you weigh?
170.
170, so that's what, 330 plus Elijah. Elijah, you could like maybe push us.
Baby. I'm gonna take my shirt off again and prove it.
So what I'm saying is like the three of us weigh the collective amount of a male grizzly 100%. Bear. Like that's, but then again, like this thing, like we're not also all muscular. You know what I mean? It has a lot of like fat and flesh on it, but it's also fucking stocky.
Yeah.
Okay, true. So we've gone over. So this is good because we've addressed the obvious, like the way that the grizzly bear would win. He would just one hit fuck us up like one after another. So then let's work together here, like with our minds and our mouths. Let's find a way to beat this thing. Hands only though, no like pepper spray, none of that bullshit. So here's my thought. Yeah. So, but you're saying hell. So I'm saying like forest, like bare bones. Because I had this idea, this conversation all spurred because we were talking. Me and my friends were talking about hiking. Me and our friends were talking about hiking. And just the idea of like what happens if we run into a bear. I was like, there's three of us. Like we either scare it or we fight it. Like one of the two happens. And like the idea, because everyone always says like, oh, don't run, play dead or run. Like, no, fight the fuck out of it.
Wait, hang on. Sorry. I'm just curious about like how we win this. Do we win if the bear like runs away because like there's three of us and we scare the shit out of it? Or is it coming at us no matter what and we actually have to kill
like
this?
Life or death? You know, I've thought about that too. I think that's why I chose a grizzly bear because I'm pretty sure like once they decide to fight, like they're not leaving. Like, they don't leave till the job's done or they're done. So
if you're fighting a bear, you're also supposed to make yourself seem really big, aren't you? Like bigger than they are. But I think that only works on
brown bears, I think, or
something like
bears.
That. Yeah.
You're supposed to do something different depending on what kind of bear it is. But so here's what I'm thinking. Here's the first question, because I don't think a bear is going to one punch us. Mostly because if I gave you, do you honestly think that you can't dodge its first punch or like first swipe?
110%.
You don't think you can?
No, I don't think I'll be able to. I think. How close are you to this bear?
Dude,
is its first swing like within reach? Like if it swings and you don't move, is it going to hit you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not fucking getting out of the way quick enough, Elijah. I can tell you that right now.
What do you mean, dude?
No chance.
Are you kidding me?
I've seen you move. I've seen you. Remember when we played that like bottle spin game over the summer where you had to, whoever it pointed to had to go like pick up the ball and just huck it? I've seen you trip over yourself standing up. So I mean, like, you think you're gonna
fucking over myself today, dude?
you think you're gonna juke this grizzly bear when it swings at you? No chance.
I don't think the grizzly bear is very smart in that sense.
Real quick, El Rammer with a quick point that I was also going to address. Does E know how big the claws are? The claws on these fucking things are massive, Elijah.
Oh yeah, they big.
To your hand.
They're huge. That's just their fucking paw, like not even including their claws.
Now, here's the other thing, because I was watching this documentary actually, and it actually wasn't about like grizzly bears. It was just about like they were interviewing this guy, and he had like a big cutout of a grizzly bear, and he's like, it's my favorite animal because he's like, on land, it is so big and strong. He's like, even if you go into the water, it will get you there too. He's like,
it'll just truck through it.
It's big as all hell. Like, dude, you can't escape from this thing. Like, the only way that you get there is by running like downhill. And that is but if you're on flat land, you're fucking done.
But even then, like grizzly bears are fucking quick.
No,
I feel like if you had like a perfect scenario
on all fours, their legs are too small and they'll actually like trip over themselves. But like,
interesting.
But that doesn't mean that they can't get up and just like keep fucking going.
That also doesn't mean that the terrain that you're going to be going down is going to be easy for you to go down and not for the bear to go down.
100%. You're still running downhill too, which is not easy.
Hey, no, I'm hearing a lot of negativity right now. I'm hearing a lot of reasons why we're dying. I want to hear some reasons why we're living.
I want to hear why you think we'll survive.
So here's my thought: is there's three of us grown humans Now, my plan is kind of contingent on the idea that you can dodge the first one. Like, this isn't fucking Manny Pacquiao coming at you with the speed of lightning. Like, yeah, I get they're fast when they run, but they don't have like hand speed. Like, he'll hit you hard, but if you just like, I don't know, somehow back up and miss it, I think if one of us gets his back and we like fucking jam your finger into his eyes and like make him blind or something like that, boom. Instant advantage.
You're so do you think this thing's not going to swing around?
No, I don't.
Do you think it's just going to stay stagnant? It's going to swing around.
I think
it's going to start fucking flailing its neck side to side.
Whoever jumps on the back is probably dead after that.
Have you?
They're probably dead.
So it's a suicide.
Okay. Have you ever?
Yeah, but that's the key to the mission. That part has to happen. It's like the Death Star. Like that pilot's probably going to die if it's not fucking Luke Skywalker. But it needs to happen to blow up the Death Star. It needs to happen.
But even then, let's say you take out one of the grizzly bear's eyes, you die. That fucking bear is still going. And that bear is now pissed.
No, but he can't see.
And then it's now.
He can't see, we're good.
Through what he can smell. Apart. Through one eye, you take out only one eye.
That's big, dude. Though.
Oh, yeah,
no, dude, two fingers. You jam it in there, dude. Like the horror movies that they do.
Now, I think we're in conclusion here that like we're like one of us is like whether we kill the bear or not, one of us is dead. Like.
Okay, so. Here, let me advance. Fucking Twitch user saying Josh is out of shape. Pin this rap. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
Well, no, if you're still talking about the bear, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to change it slightly. Then I want to put you guys in the hot seat. How many grown men does it take to beat a grizzly bear? Like to be able to kill it?
Bare hands.
Bare hands.
10. At least 10.
10 humans.
Yeah.
Y'all are nuts, dude.
Look it up. Google it. I'll look it up right now for you.
It's probably an answer out there. Anyways, fucking Dan OD4 from Twitch with one DiCaprio. Everyone knows the Revenant scene, dude. He didn't fucking beat. Oh, he did kill the bear, didn't he? And it landed on him, right? Or did he just like?
Yeah, but he had a weapon though. You have to remember that.
Yeah. But he did end up killing it, right?
I think so. So here's my question then. Now, we don't stand for animal violence and animal cruelty. However, what is one animal that you three think that we could take? Like, and like make it hard. Like if you're like, you can't say like Ralph's dog or like.
Okay. What do you have against my dog?
He just has bad breath.
Well, I'm pretty sure if we talked about how many people want to kill that dog, there's millions, dude. That dog's fucking annoying.
Fuck you guys.
So what's one animal that you guys think we could take? Like, do you guys think we could take a giraffe or no?
What a choice. Can we kill a giraffe?
I don't know if we can do that.
I think so. Just fucking what are they going to hit you with other than their feet?
I don't know.
You're not going to bite you, dude. It takes too long to get down.
But the thing is, though, is like those things are tall. Like you have to remember, like you have to find a way to get on its back or something to like hit it in the neck or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
how would you break down? You have to break them in like, I feel like they have like 6 kneecaps in each of their legs. You got to hit them a bunch of times.
Yeah. But dude, also at the same times, dude, like giraffes kick, dude. Like they kick and it's like, you think a horse kicks hard, a giraffe fucking will murder your ass. Like remember the scene in Jackass when Johnny Knoxville or when everyone was taking kicks from a donkey and how that hurt? Dude, imagine a fucking giraffe, 30-foot fucking animal kicking you. Like that's ridiculous, you know.
That's true.
So
that's gonna be hard.
So I don't know. I was just gonna see like what animal do you guys think we could actually take?
A goat, maybe.
a goat would be easy. A goat would be easy.
Yeah. Goats have that kick also, I think.
I'm trying
to think. And a goat will headbutt you. I think that goat headbutts Elijah right in the pelvis. He's fucking down and out.
Fucking rear naked choke this goat. He's out, dude.
Lots of people in the chat right now are saying that we could probably take a pigeon, and I think they are 100% right. We can't take a pigeon if we can catch it.
I would say wolf, like full-grown wolf. I think so. Like, what do you? Sorry, is it just one of us or 3 of us again?
Wolves. The thing you also this like wolves are pack hunters.
Yeah, but we're just saying one wolf. No other considerables. Just one wolf, 3 men.
Dude,
like the viral video.
Liam Neeson did it.
Dude, one of us is getting bit, dude. One of us is getting bit.
100%. You got there's in all of these situations, there's always a take one for the team moment.
Okay.
You know?
So the reason why I asked this is because I remember reading an article in, I forget what grade it was, and I forget where it was. It actually could have been in Alberta. Anyway, it was either a cougar or a mountain lion. I don't know. Cougar ended up like going after this like baby in the backyard, and this dad fucking killed it with his bare hands.
Oh yeah, wow. See, that's some savage ass shit, dude.
So like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how he did it, but I guess he like punched it in the head a couple times and like fucking got it on the ground, and, like just snapped its neck, and like that's how you did it. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. So like, and then like you saw the dad, and you're like, okay, that makes sense because this guy's huge. Like he was a massive human. But like, I don't know, like the three of us, dude, guys that don't work out, like that's a bit of a stretch.
I wanna take this back to the bear thing real quick. So I was doing some reading in the meantime because we were obviously talking about how many people it would take to bring down a bear. I think the average answer a lot of people were saying was probably with their bare hands was probably saying about 6 or 7, give or take. Right. But I also, in my reading, learned that apparently polar bears are much more aggressive and probably the most violent of the all bears. So how many of us do you think it would take to bring down a polar bear?
50.
Aren't they they're fucking ginormous too. They're like over 1,000 pounds, aren't they?
Yeah, dude. Polar bears are the biggest bear.
I'm not looking to fuck with a polar bear, dude. Grizzly bears are little bitches compared to those.
Here, wait, you know what bear we could take, boys? But I think I'll take like 1,200.
450 kilos.
Yeah, you're
which is 1,000 pounds for the average male.
Well, all right, boys, suit up. We're going to the Antarctic. Let's go find one of those fuckers.
Yeah, polar bear.
Dude, the only bear that we could probably take, and I would feel bad about it, would be the panda.
What about a koala? No, koala's way too stoned. Leave him in the tree.
No, because
he'll just drop something on you.
I would just fucking hit the panda across the head with a fucking bamboo stick. Boom, you're dead, dude.
Raph would try and kill it, and then it would like give Raph a hug, and knowing Raph because he's so soft, he'd just hug it back and be like,
I'll be like, I'm taking this home with me.
Yeah.
Break off like a eucalyptus branch and be like, all right, let's go, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Dope him up a little bit.
Oh. Well, thank you guys for indulging me in that one. I appreciate it. I still think everyone's wrong. I think I have faith in the three of us.
We can't take on a grizzly bear.
It will maybe we'll have to one day. Just get some confidence going through there. Hey,
you're gonna say just get some content going and then just fucking.
That too, yeah. Like, bring the cameras, boys. Yeah. Anyways, guys, episode 30. We've got kind of. I don't want to say we have a jam-packed show, but we've got a creative show coming up. That's for sure. Later on, we're going to do our first ever AMA, a little Ask Me Anything. And honestly, if you're watching right now and you want to fucking comment from Facebook, why does this Tisha person, who we don't know, have such fire comments all the time? Trigger warning, PETA, don't watch. I think they've got about 130 other episodes for reasons not to watch before this. We do not say the most censored stuff here. Anyways, we're doing our first AMA later on. So if you're in the comments right now and you've got a little Ask Me Anything idea, shoot it in the comments. Even if you're not going to be here later for it, we'll answer it.
I'll try typing them all down as we go.
There you go. We've got some set up already too. We're also going to get to some Canucks talk and some March Madness later on. But I want to finish catching up with the boys. I mean, I would say, boys, it's springtime, and I do want to say this. I feel a bit rejuvenated. I feel a bit awoken from the inside of my spiritual level because I was able to see a lot of friends the last 4 days. That was big.
There you go.
How's life though, boys? Life good?
Yes. Yeah. Life is
with hesitation.
Life is swell. You know what? Honestly, I agree. Like, I feel like as soon as daylight savings hits, it is just kind of like a turning of the page. You know, it's like, okay, like the dark days are over. Like, you know, the sun is ahead. It's just kind of like a nice like switch into like summer mode, which is really like refreshing for my mental state. So overall, life is chilling right now.
Nice. My boy Raffle, how you doing, man? How you hanging?
Good. Tired, drinking a coffee. It's 7 p.m. But no, we're good. I kind of want to like go off of what Josh says. Like, I feel like, like it is pretty exciting because like the sun's right there. Summer's right around the corner. But like, if you think about it, at this point last year, like the sun was already there. Like, I have tons of memories on my phone right now of it just coming up being like, oh, like this time last year it was sunny. You were outside doing stuff. You know what I mean? And meanwhile, today it's like raining shit weather. I think tomorrow's also supposed to be pretty crappy. The day before was also not the best.
Yeah. I feel like we have. I kind of said this, and I feel like a hot shot, sexy meteorologist when I said it. I think I said there's gonna be one more like cold front, one more rainstorm little event, and then we're into summer. Like I don't care if it's early with April, we're into summer at that point. Like, there'll be some rainy days, but we won't have another 2 to 3 week just rain fest. Like this bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It stopped me from golf. I still haven't got out for my first round of golf yet, so I'm kind of choked at that. But you know what? We're hanging in there. Raph,
how good do you think you're going to shoot during your first round of golf?
Well, why don't we talk about this? This was actually one of the questions on the AMA, but it wasn't really an AM form question. There was someone asking if we got out for rounds, and they asked if I shot up above 110. I honestly think I'm confident in the game this year. I think I'm shooting below 98 first round out there. I think the drives will stay in play. I think the irons will be taking the appropriate amount of chunkage out of the ground, and I think the putting will be trash as always. So I'll probably. How
do you think your sand game is going to be?
I hope not to be in there, but it's actually always fire. Like I take full swings and they end up right on the green. I'm Spieth. I'm Spieth out of the sand. As I say.
Can you confirm this for everybody?
You know what? I will actually give that to Elijah. Considering how much he's in the sand, he has had a lot of practice getting out of it. No, like
sandbagging son of a bitch.
That's the one thing about Elijah is like he'll swing. He'll never do half swings. Like it'll be all the way back. But how fast he comes down on the ball dictates how actually far the ball goes, which is very interesting. It's very scary sometimes because I'm like, holy shit, I'm like full swing from here, Elijah. But then he'll just like slow it down, just like chip it right on. I'm like, oh, wow. So I think the biggest thing for Elijah this year is going to be the driver and the irons. I think that's the biggest thing.
So like 90% of golf.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Or I guess like 2 out of 3 components of golf.
Well, putting and chipping. I think your chipping's fine. I think your putting. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's gonna be a big mental test this year. I'm usually a mental midget on the course. I'm not kind to myself when I'm out there, but I think I've got a new mindset coming in. I think I'm gonna have some more fun with it. You know.
What is your new mindset? What are you doing? What are you practicing to improve your mindset right now? Are you doing like yoga, meditation? Like
I'm a big meditation guy. That's been. I'm reading now as well. That's also a big throw out to me. But in addition to that, I think I've realized that I'm not gonna be a professional golfer. And as a famous person once said, you're not good enough to get mad. And so I'm going to kind of take that to heart, and I'm just going to not get mad anymore.
Who is that famous person?
I forget. I said that famous person.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, boys. Let's. I have one more little thing to touch on before we jump into some hockey talk. But so the squash game today, Raph, you missed out on some squash action, my man.
You guys played squash today? I think I was going to go golfing.
We did some driving range. Yeah. Hit the clubs. They were looking well. And then we hit up some squash. Josh, you hadn't played squash in a while. You brought up the bionic knee brace. You were looking like a squash player out there. How'd you fare? How you feeling?
How tiring is it, Josh? Tell me exactly how exhausted you were at the end of that, because it's a fucking...
Dude, well, I'll start with this. I didn't win a game.
Nice.
That was tough.
You lost to Jordan?
I lost to Jordan.
Oh, tough.
I know, but for... Just like, actually, no, I'm not going to disrespect him like that, so it's fine. Because that's just me trying to have like a rationale for me being shit. No, Jordan was good, but like the rock bottom for me was being down 18-0 to Bailey.
Oh yeah,
21. I did have a pretty sick shot to actually get one. And then the score proceeded to be 21-2.
I mean, it's not bad.
It was a grind. The first game against Elijah was good. I still lost, but it was competitive. I liked it.
Yeah.
Second game against Elijah, I got absolutely murked.
Nice.
I couldn't get anything going. But you know what? I've always really liked squash. It's actually a very fun activity.
It's very fun.
It's just it's nuts. It's better than tennis in my opinion.
Yeah. I think the one thing that people underestimate when they play squash is like you never really assume how much running back and forth you're going to be doing. You know what I mean?
Because like the court is so small.
The court is so small. The ball is so fucking like. Do you guys remember what kind of stiffness ball you played with? Because I think they rated on like a 1, 2, or 3.
It was
the 2-dot.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's still like barely bouncy.
Yeah,
like you're hitting that thing and it's just going everywhere. And you're just trying to get to it in time. It's just like doing line sprints. It's like doing the beep test almost, just constantly and hitting a ball at the same time.
Yeah,
dude.
And it gets fucking hot in that box.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing.
So I'm gonna give the listeners a tip right now. This is for all the listeners on kind of how to go about your year here, your next couple seasons. My biggest piece of advice that I can give you through life is if you're going to get a pedicure and you're going to have someone shave off the calluses on your feet, do not do it like right before you start being active again after 8 months. Because my feet they look like the Flintstones feet. Like I have blisters everywhere right now. I've got the one on my left foot. It looks like it's a blood blister. So it's just like dark red. And then the one on my right foot is just like the entire pad of my left toe or my big toe is gone. It's just torn off. And that's all because like I was sitting there at the pedicure and they were like, I don't know. Have you guys gotten a pedicure before?
No, never.
I think we talked about it already last time, right?
Yeah.
I got
maybe.
one. But like they do the pumice scraping where they like scrape off your calluses or like, like dead skin pretty much. But when they were doing that, I was like, fuck, like that's hard to build up, dude. Like you have to get blisters to get those. Yeah. And so when like today, when it was within 5 minutes of playing squash, I was like, yep, there's one. And then like you start pivoting the other way and you're like, oh, okay, we got double pad going on now. That's great.
Tough.
But I will say this to wrap up my squash idea is that my body, dude, I feel like I got stoned for 30 minutes. And I don't mean marijuana. I mean like rocks thrown at me. Like, that's what it feels like. Yeah,
do you think
completely destroyed?
Elijah, do you think you can beat a 10-year-old who grew up playing squash in squash?
No chance. No. I think I might be able to beat a 70-year-old who grew up playing squash. I can't move around, dude. Like it's so much bending over. Yeah, yeah, right. It's true. He still might beat me, dude.
Yeah.
If you actually like, if you're an amateur, if you've never played squash before and you actually are interested in the sport, playing it's fun. Yes, do that. But it's almost more fun to just go watch people who constantly play squash because they're so good at it and they're so old and weird. That's what's great. So go check that out if you haven't had a chance to yet. Local squash courts everywhere.
Have you guys ever played racquetball?
I think so. Once,
I've watched
maybe
it before. It's much easier, right?
I thought it was harder.
No,
I thought the ball is smaller and it's more bouncy.
No,
opposite.
So
and the rackets are smaller.
The ball is bigger.
Yeah.
It's like 80 times bouncier, and that's what makes it hard. Like it is some of the hardest. Like if you're actually not like paying attention, like it'll smoke you.
Yeah.
And the thing with like squash is like most people hit it off like the side walls and everything like that, and it's very rare that you get one off the back wall.
Yeah.
Dude, in racquetball, it's like open season pretty much fucking anywhere, and it's loud too, which is even kind of alarming.
Josh, do you wear a cup when you play racquetball?
No.
Would you?
I don't. No. But when I did play racquetball and squash in PE in grade 11 and 12, they're like, wear safety glasses or like the goggles, because like that shit can come at you hard if you're not ready.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that's the difference between the two, right? Like squash, when you're playing, the squash ball dies after its first bounce. Like it whips against the wall, but after that, it's dead. The racquetball one, dude, it like picks up speed. It's fun.
Oh yeah, no. Dude.
Oh, it like bounces off of like the rotation. Then yeah.
Like, it does not lose speed.
Bounce a lacrosse ball, like how bouncy that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put like a little top spin on it and it just goes.
Yeah, like the racquetball is just as bouncy as that. It's not as heavy, obviously, and not as intense, but like it's like a traditional bouncy ball.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, I'm definitely wearing a cup.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a racquetball to the sweet and sours and going down.
Dude, you would be fine. I don't want to see you wearing a cup when you play squash for the first time. That's no
squash will be. I played squash with you before. Squash will be fine. Racquetball, different story.
Oh, racquetball, yeah. Let's put on all the protective at that point. Fuck
yeah, helmets, crazy. Everything. No conkies. Yeah.
keep care of that brain noodle, boys. Okay, boys. Let's move on. Let's get to some Canucks talk. If you're not a sports fan, we're sorry. We're a Canucks podcast. We have to remind ourselves that once in a while. But what's up to the Canucks? I'm gonna now. here's the fucking catch, because half the people here, anyone listening right now, if you're a negative Canucks fan, this one's for you. And this is also for like, I don't know, the 5 to 10 shitty reporters in Vancouver who are just fucking negative Nancy's every single time. The team could win 12 in a row and they'd write negative articles. So for the shithead reporters also in Vancouver, this one's for you. It's called a fucking spin zone. 17 of a possible 22 points in the last 11 games. That's what I like to call a fucking win, Josh, even after last game. That sounds pretty good, right?
Dude, we're fucking cashing in right now. That's all I have to say. Vancouver is taking advantage. And if we're losing games, we're at least going to overtime. We're not getting shit on anymore. We're losing 1-goal games. That is very nice. It's nice to not watch Tyler Toffoli just shit on our defense and just light 4 in a row like he did in the beginning of the year. And fuck Montreal, man. Like, actually, fuck Montreal. I am not a fan of that team. And it's not just because my dad cheers for them. Everything that Montreal is kind of like, I don't know. I don't like them. There's something about that team that, like, it drives me crazy as to how good they are. And I can't figure it out. I'm not a fan. You know, is it Carey Price? No. It's just like everyone's playing just like good. Like no one's having like some all-star season and like carrying the team. It's just like everyone's just playing at just a level playing field of good consistency. But yeah,
that makes it hard.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about this on end every time we talk about the Canucks, and it holds true every time. Is the fact that we're all in the same division, man? It makes it very make or break when you play these games. Like you in that sense, though, everyone's looking at games in hand and how much the point difference is. If you're chasing a team and you beat them twice, that's a huge swing. Like that's not just 4 points. That's like an 8-point swing when you have the chance to play the team you're chasing as much as you do this year.
Yeah.
Just a very different year.
You also see like how behind we are with Montreal, because I think we've played like 4 more games than them, and then we're still 2 points behind, I think, in the standings or something like that.
But I think the Canucks now get a break, do they not?
No, we play 2 more games and then we have a break
against Winnipeg, right? Tomorrow and then 2 days after.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday against Winnipeg, 6 and 6:30 o'clock, and yeah, I think those are kind of the 2 biggest games coming up here, obviously.
The one thing I will say, and we were kind of correct on this, Elijah, which is not always happening when we talk about hockey, is we took advantage of the 2 wins against Ottawa. Thanks for coming, Ottawa. We gave them a point just to like kind of make them feel good, which is always nice too. And we split with Montreal, which, you know what, I would say is a good case scenario. It's not the best, it's a good. So, dude, like Thatcher Demko, man, like, is this guy not the all-star of the season right now for Vancouver?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that, because that's how good of a March he's had, because he had a shit February, had a shit January, and here we are, right? Like, and he's played that well that he's probably the MVP of this team at this point.
Like,
so
it's nuts to think, and I want to ask you this as well, Raph.
Yeah.
Is it bad that now, again, the season's not over, so anything could happen, but is it bad that the Canucks are rocking 2 back-to-back seasons and your best player is your goaltender? Is that alarming when you have like an Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvath, Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser on your team? Is that alarming for like Thatcher Demko and Jacob Markstrom to be your best players in back-to-back seasons?
I don't necessarily think it's alarming. I think it's more stressful than anything on their end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of like, because like I think we can all agree that like a goalkeeper on a hockey team is kind of like it's like the glue that keeps the team together. You know, it's like it's a foundational element that you require. So it's like they're already stressed out as it is. Like every goal that goes in, it's like you're going to be looking at your keeper. You know what I mean? Like it's primarily what you're going to focus on. But I think now, because like you said, like they're considered the best player on the team, it's like it's just added pressure that they don't necessarily want to have. You know, that's kind of how I see it. I don't necessarily see it as being a bad thing.
Elijah.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I went on earlier this week. I was on 650 with the Large Cast guys, just coming on for 20 minutes to talk Canucks and stuff like that. And they asked the same question. It wasn't they asked it more, not so much in the back-to-back years format, but more just the idea of, is it sustainable this year? And my answer stays the same for both, though, is that if you're going to win, someone has to play out of their mind. Like, it's just kind of the way this league is. Like, you lean on, maybe not out of your mind, but to win in the NHL, I mean, someone's carrying the load. Whether it's like Alexander Ovechkin back in 2010 to 2014, or it's Sidney Crosby when he first came in the league. Like, there's a reason that you draft these players and you consider them the cornerstones of your franchise, is because they're there to do what he's doing, right? It's not so much. I think you got to be less weary about it and more sure-handed in saying, like, yep, okay, our goalie situation is like solidified, and on top of that, we don't have to worry about it for a while because he's pretty young. Like, that's kind of the way I look at it.
I guess my one thing with all this is I find it like a little bit concerning because like you said, like, you have certain franchises that lean on, Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane and Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Alexander Ovechkin. The list goes on. Mm-hmm. And I just find it bad that we can't, as a fan base and as even management or even as the team, can't lean on Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser to get the job done, because Demko can only do so much. Like, all he's going to do is stop the puck. But at the end of the day, one of you guys still needs to put it in the net to win.
Yeah.
So, like, that's only like one half of it. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Like, you're kind of wishing. It's kind of like when it's the opposite when you're scoring so much. You're saying to yourself, man, I hope we can have a game where our goalie steals one, just to like know he's there.
Yeah,
it's the opposite of what we're dealing with. Yeah. Like, you kind of wish in that game yesterday with the Canucks, you kind of wish it was a high scoring game. You had Holtby in net, I know, but that's kind of one where you say, I wish we could have just outscored them, and maybe not leaned on the big save. Mm-hmm. I do see what you're saying, but I think whenever you want to win in this league, your goalie has to play well. It's just when you frame this question, or when you ask this question, and anyone that does, it's you're noticing that he's playing better than he should have to, but in the end, like, it's a very fine line of being like, he's playing way better than he should have to, and in between is somewhere like what you'd want there to be, and then on the other side is like, he's just playing not well enough. Like, I feel like that's a very thin line. And it's not a terrible thing to be there for 20 games where he's playing lights out.
It's just like, I worry. Yeah. Like, because I worry about it. Not saying that I think Demko is not sustainable. Like, can he keep up this much success? I don't know. It's hard to say. This is technically his first regular season as kind of like the starter. But I just look at, like, where would the Canucks be if Demko wasn't playing this well? Like, who's actually going to, like, step up? Because up until Demko's stepping up, this team was dog shit.
And we basically wrote up our season.
And we're still on the outside looking in. Like, let's not forget that. Like, we're not in a playoff spot right now. Demko
close.
Close, but Demko is keeping us in the hunt for sure.
Yeah.
But, eventually, like, you can't just lean on this guy to make 35, 40 saves. Like, it doesn't, like, you're either going to wear him out and he's going to get hurt like Markstrom last year because he's going to play too many games, and then you're going to be forced to start Holtby, who just can't buy a win right now, which is really unfortunate. So, like, that's kind of the concerning point, is I think, like, the offense still needs to get back to where they were last year, and, like, just have the occasional break for Demko. Like, like, score 5 goals. So if Demko lets in 3, big deal. Not the end of the world.
Yeah. This is what I appreciate about you, Josh, though, is you see the parts that can be a bit, they could be a bit worrisome, but once again, bringing it back to what we introed into the segment, with the idea, like, the wins are coming, right?
They are. And then that's the thing. As long as
it's a good coming. Yeah, it's almost like when you have 2 goalies playing really well, it's like, well, you got a good situation. You got a good problem on your hands.
Yeah, like, we got to have.
Yeah. And the other note that I'd make is that all while this is happening and Demko's playing out of his mind, I know we want forwards to just score at will and win the game that way, at least a couple times, but they are scoring. Like, they are producing offense. They are, I would say, the forward and the group of 5 players on the ice for the last 15 games or so, maybe it's a little less, maybe 12, just the entire month of March, have been outplaying the other team almost every game. I'd say there's one or two exceptions. Every single other game, they have been outplaying them for way more than 75% of that game. So that's where I'm comfortable with them. That's because they're doing some other not on the stat sheet things.
Can I ask you one more thing, Elijah? Not about goaltending, just about Vancouver.
100%.
Dude, and I'll ask Raph to see if you saw it. Dude, JT Miller's OT winner against Montreal.
Filthy.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
think I remember seeing the goal live.
The dirty dangling just put Price in a fucking blender. See you later, Carey. Or maybe or was Jake Allen starting that game? I think that could have been Allen, maybe.
I think it was Price. Was it Allen?
No, it was Allen played the first one, and then Price played the second one.
Okay. How many times did we play Montreal?
Twice.
That was twice. Or like total of the season?
No. Like in the last two. Just twice. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had played them the week before. We also played them twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. It's so hard to keep track of. It's like, when did we beat Montreal? Was that 2 weeks ago or was that like a couple games ago? Because it's just same team. But regardless, dude, is JT Miller back? I
would say so.
I think he's starting to find his feet, man. He's starting to look good. And, maybe the Canucks have finally figured something out. Just like Elijah's golf swing. Hey, I may have figured something out here.
Hey, boys, I figured it out. I watched a YouTube video. Maybe JT Miller watched a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly.
How to not dish pizzas right up the middle.
How to deke Carey Price out of his goalie pants.
Jake Allen, come on, Josh. Fuck, Josh. What are you drinking there, Josh? For all the listeners, he just took a big swig of something healthy looking.
Dude, no free ads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But the only ad I'll give is that it's not a soda pop. It's not a Diet Coke. It's not a White Claw.
No.
You're a changed man, hey?
No, we're going.
Boys, I can't believe I didn't fucking write this down. We're going to move on from Canucks talk for those wondering right now. So we're moving on from Canucks talk. We're pivoting here. How the fuck is the workouts going, boys? How's the body? How's the temple doing? Let's hear it. Josh.
It needs to start picking up again. I'll tell you that.
It fell off. The wagon's off. What happened?
A little bit. These weights are collecting dust, dude. They're collecting dust right now. Need to start walking it out.
All right, you come back to Josh's basement gym. What workout are you doing? What are you jumping in with?
Dumbbell bench press. Just
some chesticles. Fucking fire them up.
Yeah, boy. Chest 5 days a week.
Yeah.
all
boy, dude.
Dude, I've fucking fallen off the wagon this week.
You have too?
Well, it's just temporary. I know I'm gonna get back into it, but I went out drinking Friday too. And it was just it was tough on my body. Saturday came home, didn't want to do anything. Friday didn't work out. Thursday didn't work out. So it's been a little bit. Today not working out because I'm here. Tomorrow maybe we'll see. But it's the more I feel the more days that you take off, the more it's I can take another day off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You slowly follow that habit, and then it's really difficult to get back into.
It's a big fucking domino effect.
Yeah.
There's a famous quote. I don't know if it was from Nike, but I saw it on a shirt somewhere, and it was some fucking 5-year-old wearing it. It's yesterday you said tomorrow. I'm like, that really hurts.
Yeah, so. I fucking hate reading those motivational sayings because they hit me the same as they hit other people. I just never follow through with them, so they kind of lose their allure after a while.
Yeah, I agree. How are yours, Elijah? Since you brought it up, I assume yours is going well.
Listen, I am the master of the spin zone, so I've been working on my mental strength lately. Is what I've been doing.
That's hard.
I bought. So this is kind of it's not really a spoiler, but I bought a book for the second time in my life I've ever bought a book. That's a huge fucking achievement. I've only ever bought one other book, and I read 30 pages of it, turfed it in the trunk after that. But I'm loving this book. This is a free shout out, I suppose. It's a book called Crossroads. It's written by Caleb Dahlgren, a survivor of the Humboldt Broncos crash. I've been in talks trying to get him for an interview, so that's kind of the spoiler part I was talking about. So I'm trying to get him out. But yes, phenomenal book so far. And for the first time of reading, I'm actually engaged, which is weird for me. But mental strength, Josh, that's what I've been working on.
Do you find that when you start reading for a little bit, you just start getting tired?
Yeah.
Do you get that feeling? I feel like I can read and look at shit on screens all day, no problem. But the moment you give me a physical book to read, then it just becomes a problem. I get really drowsy.
I've been kind of the opposite, where it's not quite the opposite, but it relaxed. Like I do feel tired, but I feel relaxed. Like I would say stress and like anxiety have kind of been doing its own thing with me lately. And so like finding unique ways to just naturally feel relaxed like that and talking to you guys, those I'm recognizing are like, yeah, I do get tired at the end of it, but it's almost a good thing because it's like your body's had a chance to just fucking chill for a little while. And then and then you get tired. Like that's when I feel good about it, actually.
Okay, I get that. That makes sense.
You dig.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Second spin zone. My girlfriend got her eyebrows microbladed. I think I talked about that a week ago. So it's her fault because she's my gym buddy. We can't go. She's not allowed to sweat. It's an open wound. So I think her like microblade quarantine ends tomorrow. So we're both going to get a month gym pass at the rec center. And we're going to fucking get on it again.
Dude, your summer bod is going to be sick.
Dude, I don't know. Do you guys have you guys gained weight in the last few years? I don't know like what your weight situation is.
I've been steady. 160 to 170.
Fucking Josh's diet somehow does not like balloon this boy up. I don't understand it. Anyways,
Josh's body is just used to it. He just has a metabolism that's designed specifically for taquitos and fucking Tropicana.
Yeah.
Tropicana's fucking good, dude.
Or Fruitopia.
Oh
yeah, Fruitopia.
So good. That's some fake ass sugar right there. This because you guys will gain weight one day, just getting older. The amazing thing is like, yes, it happens slowly, but you get to notice like all the very specific places that you're gaining weight. Like this is when you guys do start to do it, notice your breasts. I want you guys to pay day-to-day attention to your breasts, like all aspects of it, the top, the bottom, underneath the armpit, check your breasts because it grows in the weirdest fucking ways.
All Josh does is chest workouts. Nothing's going to change for him. Look at him. Dude,
I look like actually, never mind. I was gonna say, I look like a middle-aged schoolgirl right now.
I have somebody in chat asking right now if an old fat me will look like Danny DeVito, and I don't fucking know.
I think that's fucking bang on, dude. I
don't think I look like Danny DeVito. No chance. I'm already taller.
There's a lot of flaws in it. It's almost like I'm hoping for it, if anything.
You're hoping for it?
Yeah, seriously. That would be quite a look for you, man.
I'll start a sitcom. I'll do
it. Boys, do we want to talk some March Madness at all? I mean, like, here's the thing, is that I want to talk March Madness, Josh, but you and I, like, we're not a college basketball podcast. I don't really give a fuck about that part, but it's the fact that I feel like I've been so entrenched in my own bracket and, like, watching every game that I haven't really taken, like, an analysis on the tournament. You know what I mean?
How many upsets have you had in your bracket thus far?
Josh, you can go first. Let's talk. Let's not call this segment March Madness. Let's call this segment March. My bracket sucks fucking ass.
I've already titled it Madness in March.
Well, first of all, at least Elijah submitted one. I thought I did, but I never actually went through. So that was a tough difficulty. But what I will say, Raph, is my bracket, the first game I had Ohio State
beating Oro.
I think I had them in like the Elite Eight, and then I had them getting bounced. So it wasn't that big of a deal, unlike our buddy Jordan, who literally had them winning the entire tournament because he's a Buckeyes fan. So it was a number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And they got bounced in the first round.
That's tough.
So the first game, it didn't fuck it, but I knew like it wasn't going to be correct. Like, there have been, I think you can actually Google certain things. It's like things that are more likely to happen to you than having a perfect March Madness bracket.
Okay.
One of them I'm pretty sure is being like struck by lightning.
Okay.
Winning the lottery.
Yeah.
And there's like some other crazy shit in there. Like it is.
That's nuts.
Dude, like it is hard. Like it's basically just having like how many games are actually played. Like in the first round, to have a perfect bracket coming out of the first round, you have to basically parlay 32 fucking games and not get a single wrong. That's impossible. Like that is legit impossible. Like Elijah, what was your California Dreamin' bet that you had? How many games? What was your parlay?
It was 3. It was 3 puck line bets.
It was a 3-game puck line bet. Took the underdogs. How much did you pay to get in, and how much did you make?
I think mine was only like it was a $20 bet. $20 total bet to win 1,400. So it was about like 1 in 70 odds. I think that is.
So like put that in perspective. Like 3 underdog teams, $20 bets to win $1,300. Like that's fucking crazy. Now you factor in March Madness, where obviously there's going to be some upsets in terms of the seeding, but you don't know which games those are. Like it's impossible. Like I don't think anyone's ever. I think there's only ever been one in the history of March Madness, one bracket.
I don't think anyone ever has.
One person in chat just posted the odds. It's 1 in 9.2 quadrillion to have a perfect March Madness bracket. And I'm not going to read out the entire number because it's fucking long. But
how many digits is that? How many
1,
digits?
2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 digits.
19 fucking digits. Dude, that looks like my salary. That's fucking nuts. I never thought I'd see a number that high again.
Okay.
Jeez.
This is the one thing I can respect about March Madness though, because like you guys know I'm not a huge sports guy, and I personally find basketball to be one of the most boring sports to watch. That's just my opinion.
I do too.
But like the cool thing about March Madness is I like how the tournament's done in a one and done style, not essentially like a best of kind of style. You know what I mean? So it's just like the stakes are high in every single game. Like you could have, like we said, like first, second seed teams just getting bounced in the first round, and it's like, all right, see you later, and it just completely mixes up everything else. Like it's interesting in that sense.
This is why I like someone needs to remind me at the beginning of March, every time I have this fucking thought, like I always tell myself like, oh, I should go get like Megan and people like Raffle who don't watch college basketball or don't even care about it. Or like even my coworkers to fill out a bracket is because I tell myself, I'm like, oh, I don't want to explain to them like what a seed means, or I want to do that for Raffle. There's some people you would. But then like something like this happens, don't tell them anything, dude. Just let them fucking pick. Like they would do
You'll
better
never
than
know,
me.
dude.
It's so junked. So
the one thing I wish that could happen, and this would be fucking crazy, but just based on the way that the sport is played, it would never work. But dude, if there was a March Madness like football for college, that would be fucking wild.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
Yeah,
if you actually add like, so like your number one seeds would be like Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, and like I don't know, like LSU, and then like your number twos would be like, I don't know, Notre Dame, like Georgia, that type of thing, Oklahoma.
That would be electric. It'd be very different from football. It's just a very different sport, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think just in terms of speed that it would be played at as well.
Yeah, and like how quick the tournament is. Like these people do. This is what like how many teams are there? 64.
Yeah, 64.
64 teams, and they finish the tournament in like, I don't know, like 7 game days, something like that. 7 or 8, maybe 9 game days.
No, yeah, like
there's days in between. Like there's breaks after the second round.
Once you get into the Elite 8, there's breaks. Like it's a weekend break or like 4 days break.
Yeah.
Before you get into like the Final Four.
I wanted to bring this up because Shane brought it up in the chat as well, and it's kind of like they don't get to see it because it's in our Twitter chat here. So to the Twitch chatters, the one who put out the odds, you're actually fucking wrong, L Rammer, because it's a good point that not every team is equal. Like it's not when you have a 1 versus 16 seed, that's not a 50-50 matchup. That's not the odds. You can't really account for the odds because if you're going to computer generate what the odds are that a 16 seed beats the 1 seed, it's like less than 1%. So it's actually a little bit lower of a number than that. But in the same sense, I did look up, no one's ever had a perfect bracket. The farthest that someone's ever made it is the Sweet 16. I think this guy in 2017, he had his first 39 games correct.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Fucking nuts, dude.
I've always wondered like who fucking screwed him? Like what game? What game was it? What upset was like, holy shit, like I'm going to do this. But like this team has upset so many teams, and you're like, holy shit! Like I'm looking at
it right now, and I wish I remember what happened in the rest of that tournament. But yeah, it's like it's crazy just seeing a bunch of green check marks. Like, fuck, so jealous.
And then you look at your bracket, you're like, oh.
Well, dude, this is like I'm looking at one side. Like he had UC. This is a year that UC Irvine is a 13 seed and Oregon as a 12 seed won. Both in the first round. So like he's got some crazy upsets left and right. He's picking all of them. Good for him.
Yeah.
Do you think he knew going into it? Do you think those are just like shots in the dark?
I think.
What do you mean? No one knows, ref. No one.
Okay, I'm just saying, dude. Fuck.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway. Okay. Did we run that barrel dry a little bit?
We did.
Good to go. Okay. Okay, let's do our Ask Me Anything segments here. Let's jump into it. I wish we had some sort of promotional video like, boom, Ask Me Anything. It's been, you know what? This is the thing about the Ask Me Anythings or even the mailbag, whatever we're calling it here. It's definitely a good segment, but we got to find a way to get more preemptive interaction, you know?
Fact.
Yeah, it's hard. It's actually harder to find. And this is my point is I think for the AMA to work, you need to ask a pretty specific question. Like, ask me anything about relationships. We always say that. Or like, ask me anything about my genitals. Or ask me anything about like my past school experiences. Things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Hit you with a would you rather question even.
That too. Okay, so let's jump into the AMA. First question, let's go to Shane's question first, because I think he was up on this one like 6 days ago. He was all over it. So his question, if I had it right, was would you rather sweat maple syrup or have Cheeto dust constantly growing on your fingertips? Like on all your fingertips, you got Cheeto dust happening.
Oh, I'd sweat maple syrup.
Bro.
I think so.
Wrong answer, Josh.
Dude, I'm going with the Cheeto fingers, dude.
No, dude.
I need to hear you talk about this. How are you going to sweat maple syrup and live your life?
I just think at the end of the day, maple syrup will be ultimately more appealing to the general public. Because think about how fucking disgusting it's going to be when when you just start getting Cheeto dust on legitimately everything uncontrollably. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna be like, oh shit, I cleaned off my fingers. Oh, it's back, and then you just touch something. You know what I mean? Like think about how many things you touch with your hands all day. I can control how much I'm going to be sweating. Like obviously, there's going to be days in the summer where it's like I sweat a little bit more than other days, but it's like I can always do things to combat that. You know what I mean? You can't do it. Like, what are you going to do about your Cheeto fucking fingers? You're going to wear gloves every day?
Yes, that's actually a really good point. But Raph, let me ask you this: what happens when your nuts start fucking sweating, and then everything gets sticky? And that's bad. Like think of where you sweat. Like obviously on your forehead, sure. Like you can reduce that by not doing physical activity. Yeah. But dude, like on a hot, sweaty day, and you've got some grundle sweat, dude, that's getting sticky, and you're smelling like a maple tree.
That's fine. At least it smells like maple tree. At least it doesn't fucking smell like Cheeto dust everywhere I go. That's the thing that's one of also the big reasons why I'm okay with sweating maple syrup, because it doesn't ultimately smell that bad. Like, yeah, you're right. It'll suck for me. It'll be super fucking shitty for me, but it's not going to be as impactful towards everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, how fucking annoying is it going to be, Josh, when I can't go out for a beer with you without you getting Cheetos all over the glass? You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down here?
Yeah, I guess. But like, what happens like when you're in an interview and then you just start sweating because you're nervous? Yeah. And your hands get sweaty and you shake the dude's hand and it's just.
Let's not fucking talk about shaking hands right now, Cheeto fingers. All right.
Okay, but what if you're
out of the two though? What's easier to like? If someone shakes your hand, you get Cheeto dust or maple syrup on you. What's easier to get rid of? Like, dude, that's like getting tree sap on your hand.
Suck. Both of those suck.
Dude, Cheeto dust. You're just doing that.
Wipe it on the pants, dude.
Constantly.
Wipe it on the pants. That's the move. Wipe it on your ass, dude. You know what? Interesting wrinkle. If you choose the maple syrup, you probably don't have hair ever again on your head. You're probably going bald every time. Like you don't want to have maple syrup hair. Fuck that. Yeah. Personally, there is nothing you could. In this example, I would rather have my entire body grow Cheeto dust than have me sweat maple syrup. Like the amount that I sweat, the frequency at what I sweat. If we were playing squash today and I sweat maple syrup, like mop in a bucket, dude. Like, there's no way I'm getting out of there without that. It's insane. I'm a profuse sweater. I know that.
we had somebody in chat say at some point, hopefully the interview is for IHOP. In which case I would get away with that job, no problem.
Hey, nowadays IHOP throws anything on pancakes, so the Cheeto dust one would probably work too. They're like, hey, that's a fucking idea right there. You're a smart guy.
Where's Josh? And you're just like sitting there on fucking in the kitchen, just sprinkling.
Josh is unfinished, dude, the whole time. Josh, we got another order for your fucking weird Cheeto pancakes, dude.
What is that?
Yeah. I don't like Salt Bae. I call that the nipple tickler is what I do. It's what I do to myself when I'm having a good video game.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Oh, sorry. Gave you a visual there. My bad.
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, Raph, you have some questions written down too, right?
Yeah, I got some from some people.
I'm actually. I think yours are going to have some length to them. I got a couple here. These ones are a bit quicker.
Okay.
I'll roll through mine, then I'll shoot it over to you. Okay, so this question here is from Mila. What's the biggest turnoff when you first meet someone? Now let's talk to the person that meets the most people first. I'll go. That's me. What's up? No, Raph, you go first.
I think I told you guys about mine earlier, right?
No, I don't think so.
I think I told you guys when you guys were
your laugh.
No,
or
my
laugh?
What?
Like their laugh.
My biggest thing is like it. I find it very annoying, and I feel like I might get a little bit of flack for it. But it's when, like, say somebody, fuck, someone said sweating maple syrup in chat. No, it's when somebody has like say somebody believes in some sort of cancel culture. When that cancel culture or whatever it is they believe in is a way that they describe their personality. You know what I mean? Like if you're asking them to describe themselves or tell you about themselves and they're like, hey, like this, and then by the way, this, you know what I mean? I'm like, you don't need to necessarily slip in your form of cancel culture. Like I was on a dating app and one of the things that came up was a trend I can get behind. You know what I mean? And then it was just ACAB, all cops are bad. I'm like, okay, like it's fair for you to have that belief, but I'm like, you also don't have to fucking broadcast that. You know what I mean? Like that should not be a way to describe yourself or like put yourself out there.
That was a very specific answer, but like when you said it, I was like, there's no way he has this answer without a story behind it. Like there's no way you just decide one day, you're like, I fucking hate when people say that.
But I'm not saying that this is like a one-up type thing. Like I'm like, hey, like believe whatever you want. Like you're all entitled to your own opinion. Like you can support whatever you want to support. But if you're using that as a way to describe yourself, then that's when I think that's just a turn off for me.
That's called poor social skills. Is when like you clearly don't know what the objective is when you are describing yourself like that.
Yeah, but anyways, that's just a giant fucking turn off for me. And it's like it's funny because it comes up often.
Yeah. Josh, biggest turn off.
I think when someone is too like cocky and almost too influenced by like social media.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that drives me fucking crazy. Like when you base shit off of like, oh my God, like I have like 10,000 followers on TikTok. Like, dude, do
you actually run into this?
I know a couple people that like I've heard them talk about it and I've been like eavesdropping and I'm like, bro. Yeah. Like and just like even and like just it's more so like on the street. Like I'll be like at a restaurant, like I'll be eating and like I'll hear this shit. And it drives me crazy because like people think like, and this is a public service announcement for everyone that thinks that like people are paying attention to their, like everyone's paying attention to your life. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody actually does. Seriously, people don't pay attention to your life. I can tell you that right now. Like,
dude, you realize that like us being a podcast, we're trying to get people to listen to us.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's fine. But like also at the same time, like I do this podcast because I like doing it. Yes, I don't like, it's a bonus that like people like it and that's awesome. But I do it because I like it. That's true. So it's more so like I don't like I don't get sad and like I don't rip people for like not listening to my podcast, whereas people are like, oh my God, like go check out my TikTok. I'm like, dude, like holy shit, like you were so full of yourself. It drives me crazy.
These are very interesting things that can happen when you first meet someone. 100%. These are very, very detailed analyses. I'm going to go ahead and say, what did we say? The biggest turnoff or the most annoying? The biggest turnoff when you first meet someone, I would say, if you're like this, you guys can call me out if this is too generic, but like if your talking personalities don't match up, like if a couple jokes just like fall by the wayside or like over the head, or if the banter just isn't there. I feel like I'm a big banter guy within like the first conversation for sure. I mean, I haven't really met someone in a long time with the intention of like, oh yeah, time to flirt the fuck out of this one here. But in the same sense, like I would say that's the big one for me is you kind of got to be able to banter. And if it's, I don't want to say the first time's like the do or die, but it kind of is, it kind of sets the tone. That's for sure. But
all right.
Like, if I said that to Megan when I first met her, dude, it was like talking to a brick wall, and she knows that. But like that was when we were like 18, so you got to cut someone a break on that point, right?
Yeah, young love.
Exactly. But
True.
before we move on from that one, I would say the opposite for me, the biggest turn on for the first time meeting someone, eye contact. That's a big thing for me. Can you like maintain not weird eye contact?
How long do you maintain eye contact before you classify it as being strange?
Not at all. None.
That's kind of weird. I think I have eye contact for like about a good like 4 or 5 seconds before I need to look away.
Yeah, but
I'm also just
like,
very ADD and I just can't focus for too long.
Yeah, it's not weird. It's on you. You're weird.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, it's all good. Okay, I'll run through this one. One food for the rest of your life and why?
Ooh.
I mean, after our last conversation, we said sucking toes. Maybe it's toes. You want some toes for lunch? Toes for dinner?
One food for the rest of your life?
Peanut butter and toe jam.
Fucking pizza, dude.
Yeah, pizza for me as well. Pizza's good.
Pizza every single day.
I won't take yours. I'm gonna go tacos. Tacos are good.
Tacos are good.
I had this one down immediately. I put burgers.
Burgers.
Why burgers?
What a fucking Alberta answer, dude. You like that AAA Angus, Josh?
Dude, I love burgers, man.
Josh, where's the best burger? What is the best burger you've ever had in your life? From where?
Oh, dude, you can't ask me that.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
Dude,
what about what best burger you've had since you've been in Vancouver? No, which doesn't really help you that much.
No, best burger you've had ever.
Oh
God, I think we stumped him.
Dude, I'm genuine. Like you would have to actually like give me some time. Like you'd have to give me like a week, and I'd have to like sit down and like go.
Right,
back
Josh.
and, like,
we're gonna go to this pop-up place called Between Two Buns in the next little bit. Burger place. Apparently, it's like one of my buddies who's a huge foodie. He's like, this is the best burger place in all of Vancouver, so we have to go.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always down for a good burger.
Sick. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, Elijah has stood up, buddy.
Don't mind me. This whenever I stand up midstream, it just means that my back is now numb and my ass is fully rashed. So that's what that means when I decide to stand up.
All right.
Let's kick it to Raph. He's got a couple questions here.
I got a few. I think honestly, like the one that intrigues me the most is you guys got to pick an answer here. Would you rather never be able to grow a beard again, or Josh grow a beard in general, or never be able to manscape?
Oh, dude, I could give two shits. I could legit give.
You'd be like babyface smooth the rest of your life.
Yeah, 100%.
But what if you could grow a beard?
Well, I'm
saying like, dude, but what I'm saying is like, would this be a very different answer if like say you come in to the next podcast and you have like a fully grown beard and everything like that? Would you answer the question differently then?
Maybe
answer the question as if you could grow a beard.
Because the thing is like, boys, like it's coming in now. But like
he does got a little something going. You got a little something going.
But here's my thing though. Is like, do I look good with? Like, I don't think I actually look that good with it. I do this out of sheer laziness. Like, I don't shave my face because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Like that's so. If I got to be babyface Josh, which makes me look younger, which is sick for the rest of my life, yeah, I'll take it because I know like overall my face will just naturally get older, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know. And who doesn't like a clean shaven guy? No offense, boys.
What do you mean, no offense?
I look like an asshole clean shaven.
Well, yeah, you look weird. You look weird.
Well,
thanks.
It sucks if you have a little bit of a bitch chin. Like I think I got a good chin. Josh is an okay chin. Raffle, we'll move on.
Yeah. Fuck.
No, you've just had a beard for so long. I kind of forget what your chin looks like.
Yeah, my thing is though, it's like I just like having a mustache. Like I could give a fuck about a beard, but like I mean, if I had my mustache, like I just want to have my mustache the whole time.
Sorry, what was the other alternative? So would you rather be babyface or
never manscape again?
Oh, so like never trim like your grundle and stuff.
Yeah, never trim the whimsical forest.
I'm sorry, but like this is priority. This is nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't really vary from that too much.
No, because this is like Raffles' face. Like it's back like that.
You know what I think you might need to flip this question to stump Josh a bit. Would you rather, we're going to change it, and instead of not being able to grow a beard, what if you could never cut your beard and it like you were growing like a motorbike beard, like gang, you know? Like it's going over your mouth and it's like down to your chest, but you're never allowed to shave it.
What?
Like you got a biker beard. You know what kind of beard I'm talking about?
Yeah. So I've got like a Hell's Angels beard.
Yes.
Right.
And you're not allowed to shave it, or you can shave your bush. or you're not allowed to shave your bush.
Well, what would you guys do?
Well, I'm saying this right now. This is an easy one for me. It sounds like a benefit. I don't hear this question as not being able to shave my bush. I hear it as I don't have to shave my bush, which is kind of how I live right now. So
the wizard beard would be pretty sick, though.
Yeah, dude. Like if I could look like fucking Dumbledore for the rest of my life, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. Dude, I would say
be actually fucking sick.
Yeah.
I would say that if we're talking about like being nice to other people and being able to shave your bush for other people do not like kissing a face that's got a wall of hair in front of it. Like our beards are kind of different, but if you got like the biker beard and like you can't even see your lips, dude, that's like a treasure hunt.
True, but think about it this way: that you also grow out your beard for yourself more than anything. You don't grow it out for other people. You know what I mean?
True. That's the way I look at my bush as well. I grow it out for other people.
Jesus Christ. All right. Next one that I have. This is from a female listener. What is the ideal etiquette for a girl to follow when the bill comes to the table on the first date?
Yikes. No, that's easy, dude. You just offer. You do the card. Like I've heard other people talk about this too. You just do like, you pull out the card as a gesture. Now,
yeah,
I still kind of subscribe to the idea. Like it's kind of, I'll make my point first. I still think guys should pay for the first date, but I do think the girl should like gesture for it. Like you shouldn't just stand there fucking like arms locked on your chest. Like that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for like probably the etiquette that plays the average, that's probably the way to go. But I would also say like, even though I believe in paying for the first date, like pretty sexy turn on if you just come out of nowhere and you're like, I already paid it, or like, psych, I'm doing it. Like, and like you try and throw me off, like, no, fuck off, I'm paying it. That's kind of cool.
True. Yeah. I think a big thing. Oh, sorry, Josh, you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Elijah here. I mean, like I'll always pay, but like if she's like, no, like we're actually gonna like split it. This is one or two things that tell me about this. Number one, she's not actually that into it. That's kind of my thing.
The split, yeah, that makes sense.
Like the split, it's like we're gonna go our separate ways. Like that's kind of what I take it as.
Okay.
If she gestures and she's like, no, like, she's like, okay, well, let's go do this after, and I'll pay for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if the date is like a 2-part date, like let's say you go simple as dinner and a movie. You know, I pay for dinner, and then she's like, hey, like, no, I can do the movie. Like, you got dinner. Like, perfect. That is amazing. However, if I pay for everything, am I mad? No. Do I expect her to pick up some tabs? Maybe. Depends. It's more so like Elijah said, it's the gesture of like, I can pay for this, you know?
Yeah. Well, even when you break this down too, like where did the idea of guys paying for the bill kind of start from? I think it kind of started because back in the day, like women kind of didn't work, and that's a side conversation. That kind of sucks. But in the same sense, like it was kind of expected of a guy to pay for it because they were the ones working, you know?
Yeah. But now,
and that's where the dynamic changes nowadays, where it's like, probably in the future that might not be a thing anymore. But I think that's my answer. Yeah.
I think ultimately all of us, we're all in the same boat. It's kind of like, we will always pay for the first date, but it's like if the gesture's there, then it's really nice. You know what I mean? If let's say for whatever reason you do gesture and the guy's like, oh, okay, sick, thank you. Then it's just kind of like, then it's like power move on his end, but also maybe he's not the one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sick, dude. Moving on.
Great. Next one that I have is, would you, again, from one of our female listeners, would you rather be emotionally cheated on or physically cheated on?
Okay, I was going to ask about this. What do you mean, like, emotionally? Like, what do you mean?
You are in a relationship with somebody, but their mind is obviously somewhere else with somebody else, and they're talking to somebody else.
They did not do the intercourse, but she's like in love with them. Or like she's in the moment, she's in love with them. She's like
speaking to them, interacting with them, but like
she doesn't really want his dick like A1
but
priority.
You and her are the label.
Yes. It's like you can tell like she's more into the person, like his personality or something. I don't know. I'm finding a hard way to explain it.
Dude, I don't know. Like the thing is like it doesn't matter because regardless, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like shit.
Yeah.
my other follow-up question is like, how do you like, okay, so like the physical cheating, like you can like technically like be able to like find that out.
Yeah.
But, like, can you find out about like emotional cheating? Like, you know what I mean? Like if she never talks to this person, but like she is like literally like in love with said guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, are they talking? Like, can you like catch them do like
they're interacting? Like if you open her phone, you'll see text messages.
Well, and so like here's the situation. Like
I think they're both shit.
Would you rather?
Well, which one is worse?
I would say the emotional one for sure.
I would say the emotional one.
I would all agree.
Like, yeah, I think emotional for sure. Because like
I think we're all fucking animals inside, dude. We all want physical stuff.
The physical is a cause and effect of the emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope.
You think one comes? Well, one doesn't always necessarily come before the other.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You would hope.
Because there's like the situation of like a drunken hookup type thing too, where it's like you just fucked up, you made a mistake. You know what I mean?
That's what I think about. I picture the scenario being like your significant other like got drunk and fucked someone versus like your significant other spent like 4.5 hours in like an emotional conversation with someone and was like vibing with them. You know?
Yeah.
I'd rather be fucked on, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I got 2 more questions here.
Also, fight anyone that comes near my girlfriend. Bring it on.
Like that grizzly bear, right?
I could take that grizzly bear. I could take you for sure if you're out there.
Do you guys think getting married is worth it?
Yes.
I'm split on this one, Raph. Where are you at?
I don't think it's necessary. It's obviously something that a lot of people enjoy. As far as having like a big wedding, I don't think that's necessary. If people elope, I think that's also all right.
So you covered all your bases, hey?
That's my take. Yeah, like fucking ultimately do whatever you want.
Safe with your answer.
Like,
dude,
I think getting married is worth it. I think it's gonna be a sick experience and all that kind of jazz. But it's like I feel like in the direction that our world is going in, it's just that like people aren't going to be having these like giant extravagant weddings. Like sure, there might be a phase after COVID when people start what's it called? When people start kind of catching up for lost time, for lack of a better term, and like getting all those experiences out of the way. But I think like in the next like few hundred years, like most people are just going to be eloping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think marriage is going to be around in like another 150 to 100 years.
Yeah.
At least it's not mainstream.
Yeah. Because I think like everyone's just going to be like, I don't know, like it's going to sound weird, but it's like you're financially more stable if you don't have a marriage, right? Because it's just so much fucking money.
This is the thing that I think our society will figure out too. It's not so much that like marriage is this super flawed thing. It's for me, it's a divorce process right now. That's like a very super flawed idea that we have in society where there's all this like hoopla about maybe you shouldn't have married someone if it like ends quickly or something like that. I don't understand how it becomes like such, I understand, but I think there's such a fundamental flaw that it becomes such an expensive thing. Like not only do you like go through like the courts to like divide up the important things like fucking assets and kids, but
that's wait, are you talking about divorce?
Yeah, like when people go through divorce, like if it's at all messy, like there's tons of lawyer involvement. I think even if it's like the cleanest one ever, there's still lawyers involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's for legal reasons.
Okay.
But like that's an inefficiency.
Okay. Well, here is Josh's. We're gonna take a turn down Josh's sappy corner with his cheesy fingers that he ever so loves. My perspective is if you're getting married and you're like, if you're thinking about, oh my God, the divorce is going to be such a pain in the ass, why the fuck are you getting married? Now, obviously, we're talking about this from the outside looking in, right? Like, because like my parents are divorced, don't really remember it. But you're right, Elijah, like the lawyers, it's a pain in the ass. And like my divorce knowledge goes as far as the opening scene of Wedding Crashers. That's what I picture divorce as. Yeah. But I think like the institution of marriage, like the actual, I kind of like it, you know, like I think it's like you are committing to this person for the rest of your life. And then all you're doing is like, you're putting that down on paper. Now, I also agree with Raph where, yeah, I don't need a big fucking wedding with everyone there. Like you really don't. Like I asked my mom about when she married my dad and she's like, dude, like we both had people there that like we didn't even know. Like it was just like not necessary.
Yeah.
And like she even admitted that. And I asked my dad too. He's like, yeah. He's like, there were some people there. He's like, why the fuck are they there? So, but yeah, I think marriage. I think 100% marriage is worth it. 100%, because like, dude, like you get to be a husband, or you get. So
what's the yeah?
Like
what's
that's
the cool. What's the pros
cool
here?
I think the pros is like you're actually like committed to someone for the rest of your life. Not saying that you wouldn't be before, but it's just like
by law.
Like by law. Like I think it's actually like just kind of like a phenomenon. You actually like carry a title, you know, a different title. You know, that this is my wife. She takes her last name. You know, you have kids. Like it's like kind of like the whole process of it. You know. So when people like talk about divorce, like most people have a cynical point of view because they like, obviously we all know divorces usually tend to be messy, and that tends to be like a, you know, like kind of like a bloody process. But there's also divorces, I would say, that are actually like really sad. Like
totally.
They just grow apart, and it's just kind of like depressing to be around.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's more what I was more pointing my comments towards. It's not like this idea that when you get married, having that idea of divorce already in your head. That's not what I mean. I mean more as an overarching view of the idea of marriage and like just how divorce kind of impacts our society now, is this idea that I'm pretty sure this is not my checked fact, but if two people are like mutually getting a divorce and have no problem with each other, you still have to go through lawyers, and in the end you end up paying a decent amount of money to get this process done, which makes no sense to me. Like why does that cost money? You know what I mean?
Well, I think the only time like lawyers actually like get involved though is when you actually like when you're actually starting to fight over assets. Like that's the only time. Like if you guys have a mutual agreement and it's like, hey, like I'm going to take everything that I own, you're going to take everything that you own. And I think some people have like joint bank accounts and shit. And it's like, let's just go down the middle and we'll split it. You know,
I think
where shit comes into play is like, well, we only drive one car, so who gets the car? Well, we only have one house, so who gets the house? Like that's where I think lawyers kind of get in the way of that stuff, or like that's where they need to get involved, and that's where it gets messy because like those are like the most valuable assets. So anyway,
interesting.
My opinion.
Yeah, I bet there's probably very obvious answers for the questions that I have, but that's okay.
Raph, what's the last one?
The last one is, in your first season of hockey, what is your projected over-under?
For points.
Points.
Okay, so let's give Josh a situation so he knows what he's answering here. So Josh, you're going to be your first line left wing. Everyone gets about the same ice time though, so it's like doesn't really mean much.
How many games are we playing?
We're playing about 16.
I would take the over on 8.
8 points?
Yeah.
8 points total.
Yeah.
A point every other game.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'm giving myself, I think I have 15. I have 15 points as a defenseman too. I'm fucking Hughes out here. I'm solid, dude.
Point per game, Quinn Hughes out here.
Yeah, that's me, dude. Mr. Confident. Anyways, I think that's all we got for today, right, guys?
That's
definitely a laid back episode out there. Thanks for joining us, the people in the chat. To the people out in the podcast version, thanks for listening to us. We always appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. That's all we can ask. We're going live again probably late Tuesday night and then again on Sunday. We do this every Sunday, Tuesday. So if you're listening on podcast form, check it out. We're always here to listen to everybody. And Goats and Woats coming up on Tuesday, right? We'll have to announce.
Are we doing names?
First names? I think we should do first names.
I think we should split it into a two-parter. This Tuesday do male names, and then next Tuesday do female names.
I'm down. That's sick.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be so sick. Shane in the chat asking what time on Tuesday. Probably looking at 11, right, boys? 11 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's what we look at.
Late one.
All right. Dope. Well, it's been fun, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, boys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Later.